Hello, it's Alan and Sean from the Fan Pub again.
Hello.
Today we're talking about the AFC West and the Oakland Raiders.
Yep, looking forward to that.
Okay, so let's get into it. So, where do you see Derek Carr going this year? His ADP is 106. Is that a good?
I think that's probably pretty fair ADP. I mean, he was good fantasy gold last year, actually, wasn't he? I mean, I think he surprised quite a few people. But I think this is the classic situation a lot of quarterbacks find themselves in when they're fairly raw. You play from behind a lot. The team's developing, and while it's developing, you can, if you're a good gunslinger, you can put up some good points. And I think he did that last year. And I think they've got an improving team. And I think we've seen their defence take some steps forward this year, last year, this year. I think the team in general seems to be moving in the correct direction in terms of an actual NFL squad. And I can see that they're definitely turning a corner, which I really like. So I think Derek Carr trending in that direction, about 106. I think that's very good ADP. I'm happy. I'd be happy taking the quarterback. At that point, he'd be a good one.
And he's at an age that he could improve as well.
He can massively improve. And he's got good weapons there.
Let's get on to Amari Cooper. He's the highest ADP on the Oakland Raiders. He's at number 27. Obviously, it's his second year.
It is his second year. It is early. I mean, we have to never lose sight. I'm a big fan of his. I know you are, but we have to not lose sight of the fact that he did score just over 140 fantasy points year one. That is great. And what you're hoping, fabulous for a rookie season. But what you're hoping is that the trend continues upwards. I think it will. I think him and Derek Carr are only going to grow together in stature together. And I think that they're both going to be very good for this year. So I think his ADP is perfectly fair for Amari Cooper. And I would be happy taking him in the second round, as I say, at that point of the draft. I think it's good value. And I like what Amari Cooper brings to the table. We talk about these fighters, people who are going to fight for your team. I get the feeling... and my son correctly identified Amari Cooper when he said he could run every route. I wasn't so sure. I saw enough of him last year. I had him certainly win a few fantasy games against me to have to look at him very carefully, and I really like what I see for this year. So
you could see a real big improvement.
Massively big improvement for this year.
But then again, he's sort of his ADP is
fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's not like you can say it's gold or it's
a sleeper.
It's not a sleeper.
27th off the board.
It's perfectly fair ADP. Let's look at some of the others.
Well, Crabtree's interesting. I mean, he's an ex-wide receiver in line. He's going at 78, and he put up better numbers than Cooper.
It's still, that's now, whereas ADP the previous year was way down. The year was like 140.
Yeah, almost undrafted, wasn't he?
This year that's quite high actually, surprisingly high. I mean, that's inside round 8 inside a 10-team league, and you start scaling that up to the large leagues like ours, and suddenly you're in the round 5 ADP range. That's perfectly fair for the type of return you'll get for your investment. I think he's good investment there, working on Amari Cooper. I think it's a great foil.
I think he could be a sneaky pick,
Yeah, I think he can. Can he definitely outperform his round 5 points? Yes, I think he can. So he's probably more of a sneaky pick.
They're going to throw a lot, aren't they? I mean,
they're going to be behind.
And apparently, the early stories coming out of camp. I mean, it's early camp as we're speaking, but he's been the star of the camp so far.
He's a veteran player. He never had the opportunity to shine in San Francisco. There's a lot of inconsistencies at quarterback. He's now got a quarterback who's prepared to sling the ball and put it where you want it as a wide receiver. I like Derek Carr a lot. I see a lot of quality in him that I can see developing into a very, very, very strong quarterback in time. And I wouldn't be surprised if he steps forward. And who's going to be the recipient of those? Both Amari Cooper and Crabtree. So I like both of them for this year. And Crabtree probably is. His ADP is probably pretty bloody good, actually.
I think he might be
I think he's a good pick.
Okay, let's look at the backfield. We've got Latavius Murray. He did pretty well last year. He's going to ADP 41.
Yeah, a lot of people seem quite low on him. That's about he was last year. I think that's about right. I mean, round 3 ADP is about what you're going to get in terms of return. It's about 160 fantasy points. I think he'll do the same again. I don't really see that as a big problem. But I think there is a sneaky sleeper here, though, lying underneath. Do you agree?
I think he's someone that we're both quite high on, and he's going at an ADP where you're almost getting him for free in smaller leagues, and a late round flyer in the bigger leagues, and that's DeAndre Washington.
Yeah, we both like this guy, and the reason is because obviously big high ADP, as Al says. We like that late in most drafts. I also like the fact that he's kind of moved his way up the depth chart to second, we believe, even before pre-season. We think he's going to be the second on the depth chart. Latavius Murray has been what you would call consistent, very consistent.
He did underwhelm a little bit towards the end of the season. He did get dropped for a couple of games, so there is
there is doubt. Always worries fantasy owners. So I think what you're talking about here is if you're moving in for Latavius Murray, you've almost certainly got to take the second here, just in case the situation changes.
And it won't cost you a lot either, will it?
Not going to cost you a lot, but we like DeAndre Washington, and we we'll highly recommend him to anybody that's listening to have a think about this player as a deep sleeper. Particularly if you don't own Latavius Murray, well worth taking him. I think it's a definite shot. You'll be happy to take a lottery pick on him.
He's somebody that he could get the starter job sort of later in the year. So
it's possible.
What better boost to your fantasy team?
It's definitely possible.
Back,
And a lot of what's going to shake out, unfortunately, in some of our drafts, we won't see until it kicks in. Or we're probably going to get a good look at this kid in pre-season work.
Yeah,
so we will know before the start of the fantasy. For most people's fantasy season, we'll have a really good look at him then and see if he does prove to be
if he shows
second.
These glimpses of.
But we think he'll be second as camp ends.
Well, Halu's likely to be dropped. I mean, he's injured. He's already on the pup list. They reckon he's probably going to get paid off. And then you've got people like Taiwan Jones who
are never going to really go anywhere.
And then
fantasy
Marcel Reese is the fullback.
These are all players. Fullback will do a fullback's job.
So he hasn't got a lot to get past, has he?
No, I think everything bodes well for him to be the second before camp. I think everything bodes well that he will stay second through pre-season. He may show flashes of brilliance, and if not on Latavius Murray, he will get dropped again, and they will give this kid a chance. And that's what we're saying. There's a chance that he gets some serious work. Not necessarily early in the
so don't overreach for him, but if you want to take
this is a
shot at a deep round flyer,
certainly worth investing in. So there you go.
Okay, let's talk briefly about Wolford. Anybody with him?
I don't really have to talk for very long. No, I don't. I think with this kind of tight end, it's the lowest of the low tier in tight end production. You're talking the sort of 70 to 80 range in tight end points at best. And therefore, by definition, that means you've probably got the worst tight end in your whole league because there are probably better options. So in the night first, tight end second, I think Wolford, and he's very good at what he does.
I actually think that he's better than a few that are going above him, but only a few. Really, it's not really an exciting.
It's tricky to judge.
He's had an injury, I think.
Yeah, it's tricky to judge because what you're doing is how many more points can he? I mean, 2 points. Two more touchdowns would do. Maybe he stretches to 100, and that's still in the lower end of the bunch of tight ends that you can get. So many of them fall into that area. So I'm not going to overreach on Wolford. 178 is perfectly ADP. And if you were looking for a desperate tight end who has some upside, well, I can see the logic. He's late enough, you don't mind.
There's plenty of desperate tight ends out there.
There is a lot of desperate ones.
Okay, our video on the Oakland Raiders. If you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.